Hey, everybody, it's Kerry with some celestial poetry that I invite you to unpack, interpret, and use as a lens, which you can look at your own experience. This world is a diverse landscape, populated with willful beings. Jyotish is a navigational tool that illuminates possibilities. So let's together look ahead at the week of January 25th through the 31st. Today is Saturday, January 24th, and I am doing, since I last talked to you, I have not done much. I have been really fighting one health battle after another. I know that a lot of people are going through tough times, so hang in there with me and we'll get through it. So looking ahead, I got to look behind first and at the moment. So I'm sitting here trying to muster the excitement to get this video done and hearing just a lot of news. There's a lot of protests going on here in the US. I live in the United States, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Really tragic, horrible thing happened this morning. Again, another shooting. So I just took a peek at around the time it was supposedly happened was 9 a.m. this morning, and I noticed that the ascendant was Aquarius, and Rahu is in the ascendant here. Fix me a little. So anyway, just yeah. And I think last week I said something along the lines of I don't think things are going to calm down this week. So I think that kind of checks out. This you'll see that the moon is up there in Pisces with Saturn, and that will move later on today. So just horribly tragic, but it got me to thinking about in general 2026. I am going to do your 2026 overview. I promise. I'm struggling, you guys. Gavin Newsom, I have all these ideas to do all the charts, so just bear with me. Anywho, yeah, this is today, and so I got to thinking about Rahu. I really feel like Rahu going into Shata Bishak Nakshatra has really made things kind of nuts. So just a date range. Shatabishak Nakshatra is just a part of Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, where Rahu is strong. He's especially strong in Shatabishak. And so this transit runs from late November 2025 through late June of 2026, late June. So, and just for reference, the last time Rahu was in Shatabishak was from early May of 2007 to early December of 2007. I didn't have time to go back and look at all of what was going on historically at that time, but if you do, let me know in the comments and we'll start a discussion about that. I'll be talking more about that in the 2026 overview video. Okay. Yeah, so let's go. Hold on. I'm gonna shift us to the my current thing here. Okay, so now we're in tomorrow morning in Estes Park, Colorado, where I happen to be. And this is the last week of January 2026. And it's been quite a full month already. We're continuing with the Capricorn energy. This will be the last full week of all those planets being in Capricorn. They start to move into Aquarius next week, specifically Venus and Mercury. What else generally? The combustion thing is still happening. Combustion meaning the planets being very close to the sun. Combustion slash Kazemi, depending on how you want to look at it. Kazemi is a Western astrology thing. Combustion is a Vedic astrology thing, and it always makes it feel like the planets are just useless, gonna die, burnt up, can't do anything. I'm sort of reframing that into it's a consolidation of energy. So we've had this really tight pack of Mercury, Venus, and Sun and now Mars has joined up. All the Mercury, Venus, Sun are in Shravana nakshatra for the most of part this week, and Mars will be joining up and with them. I think it's Wednesday. So with Shravana, which the symbol is an ear, and with Capricorn being Saturn ruled and earthbound, it feels like a stop, look, listen, feel, and measure moment. Like, just like this may not be the time to do rash actions. So keep putting one foot in front of the other, and maybe don't do anything off kilter, because the world's already off kilter. We don't need more of that. So that's that. And the other thing is the moon is waxing. So February 1st, which is next Sunday the 1st, we'll have a full moon in Cancer. And so this week the moon is waxing. My feeling was, okay, well, when the moon gets past Rahu and Saturn, maybe things will calm down. But I don't know if I'm going to put bets on that at this point. Last week with, even the economic summit in Davos, Switzerland, like world leaders meeting, it was just lots going on. So that's happening. The moon is waxing. And then we've got Saturn slowly approaching Neptune. You can see in the upper corner there the numbers. So that conjunction of Neptune and Saturn happens in the 19th, 20th of February. It feels like a Clash of the Titans moment coming for some reason with that. So we'll keep our eye on that. What else this week? Oh, the other thing this week is that, yes, all of those planets are combust with the sun, but particularly Mercury and Venus, who are like best friends. From Tuesday through Friday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Mercury and Venus will be so close because Mercury's coming up on Venus and then passing by. And that's puts them into a state of planetary war for those 4 days. Planetary war, there's a lot of different rules, but the way I'm looking at it is when planets get into the same degree with each other. It's like they're vying for airtime. I mean, right now they're all vying for airtime because they're combust with the sun. So it's just interesting. Let's see what happens. Let's track it this week. It's actually Wednesday that's the pivot point. So on Wednesday, Mercury goes past Venus, and also Mars moves into Shravana nakshatras. So really, Wednesday seems pivotal to me, where we're like, currency and getting things going seems to become more of a workable strategy than just attaching and holding on to what's not really working. Like flowing forward and making conversations, making new plans seems to be more affable, easy, right? Than just figuring out what to invest in. Just keep moving. Don't get stuck. That's the feeling I'm getting with the Venus Mercury war. It's more like a wrestling match or a dance, really. I feel like with Venus and Mercury, it should be called a planetary dance instead of a planetary war, a tango. Perhaps let's use tango. All right, and then we have Sunday, that full moon in Cancer, and Venus and Mercury will move into Aquarius, joining Rahu. So we'll talk about that next week. All right, that's the overview for the week. I'm rambling, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. All right, Sunday. This is today. We got the moon in Ashwini Nakshatra. Sorry. It's tomorrow. Whatever. Moon in Ashwini. And you'll notice that this week starts out with the no underlines under Rahu and Ketu. That means they're direct. They've come off of a little direct spell. But sometime on Sunday, the nodes go into reverse motion again for the rest of the week. So the moon in Ashwini, let's say we're past Saturn. I thought that was going to be the crazy stuff. I feel like this is Sunday is back in the saddle kind of feeling. But I'm not sure we have our horses collected. So we're on a bucking bronco back in the saddle, it sounds like. Um, so that's just it. That said, I think we can also, and as you'll see on these charts, when you see the little diagonal line on one of the squares, that's the rising sign of the chart, the first house of the chart. And I set it at sunrise. Basically, it just makes sense to me to do that. So one of the other things we track in Vedic astrology is not just the nakshatra that the moon is in. There's actually a thing called panchanga, which means 5 limbs. And it's kind of like 5 states of the moon in every day. I'm not going to teach you about that right now. But one of those limbs is called tithi, which is the kind of the relationship between the sun and the moon. How far has the moon moved away or toward the sun? That's the tithi relationship. It's a really useful concept, actually. So we can take the sun as a root and then watch the moon move around from it and in relationship to it. So when the moon is in the 4th house, which that's the case when the moon is in Aries this week, 4th house from the sun, Sunday and Monday, the moon will be there. That's a good thing for the moon. Like that's good. But let's also remember that the waxing moon is more energetic, more emotional, more reactive. And Aries is an intense, fiery, battle-driven sign. And Mars, the ruler of Aries, is aspecting its own sign from Capricorn, where it's actually very, very powerful. So I don't know that we should count on things calming down on Sunday or Monday, even though the moon's past Saturn. Okay, sorry. That's just how it is. All right, so this is going to be Monday. Monday, the moon stays in Aries. It's in the next nakshatra over, which is Bharani nakshatra. This gives me the feeling of, and this is Monday, the first weekday. The first day back to work for some of us. So Bharani gives me feelings of resilience built on connection and trust. So we can't really stop, right? So we just have to keep, even though the world goes on around us and things seem unstable under our feet, we still on a personal level have to know what we're doing and why. What is our purpose? What is our mission? And so Aries is good for that. And the moon in Aries is good for that. Like collecting yourself, re-strategizing, pulling the plans together. Okay, so that's Monday. Let's go to Tuesday. Tuesday, the moon will be in Kritika nakshatra. So you can see that the moon is at 1 degree 57, just right here at the sunrise time. Kritika goes between Aries and Taurus, and it's a very sharp nakshatra where like a razor is the symbol for it, etc. So that, and it's Tuesday. Tuesday is Mars's day. Moon is relatively it's by itself and it's exalted. We love the moon in the early degrees of Taurus. The moon loves it too. However, let's take our attention to our friend Saturn up there at 4 degrees Pisces. From Pisces, Saturn aspects the moon. We talked about aspects last week and sitting across the table. So aspecting is like, I'm getting you even though I'm not with you. Saturn presses on the moon while on those few days that it's in Taurus. So are things going to settle down more? Are we going to feel any relief? Saturn's aspect on the moon can feel like pressure or depression. So let's keep that in mind Tuesday, Wednesday, when the moon moves through Taurus. What else do I want to say about Kritika? Yeah, it's an exalted strong moon that's waxing, but it's kind of sharp energy. That's all. So if you have to do anything difficult, maybe Tuesday's your day. Actually, Wednesday, Wednesday, the moon is also in Taurus. It's in a different nakshatra. It's gone to Rohini. Rohini is a softer nakshatra, feels more creative. And remember too, Wednesday is the pivot day that I was talking about. This is the day where Mercury moves past Venus and Mars moves into Shravana nakshatra. It just feels like it's a little bit of a pivot point for the week. So that's that. Let's go. Let's keep going. Thursday. This is the 29th of January, almost done with the month. This is Mrigashira and Gemini. You can see just at sunrise, the moon's moved into Gemini, 0 degrees 54. This is Mrigashira Nakshatra, which spans between Taurus and Gemini. Mrigashira has a really movable, wandering, hungry energy, like searching and looking and that kind of thing. So a couple things come up when I look at this chart. Talking about the moon and the sun's relationship with each other. When the moon gets to Gemini, then the sun and its entourage are in Capricorn. That puts the moon and the sun into a little bit of a different relationship. This feels a little disjointed. It feels a little uncomfortable. And that's just what I'm giving you. And the Jupiter, usually a great combo, moon and Jupiter. We love that. Waxing moon with Jupiter, but and maybe it's because it's close to my, first house, but this retrograde Jupiter might be partly what's keeping me down. So retrograde Jupiter's really been on my mind lately, and how different retrograde planets can manifest their energy. So let's all just keep watching. So anyway, one thing in an observational kind of way, just if you like looking at the moon, stars, etc., is when the moon is with Jupiter this at the end of the week, you're going to look for them together toward evening when the sun is setting and the moon is beginning to rise, and Jupiter is retrograde. It's going to be very bright. So that might be something fun to try to go out and look at if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, it feels like conflict energy toward the end of the week. Thursday, Friday, and maybe dissipating into Saturday, but then there's other issues. So conflict energy. So again, if you have to do something like confront somebody about something you don't like, maybe Thursday or Friday would be those days to do that. All right, so let's go to Friday, the 30th. The moon is still in Gemini, getting a lot closer to Jupiter, and it's Ardra Nakshatra. So Ardra has some Rahu vibes to it. And maybe things won't calm down this week either because of all the things I just outlined. So look out for Friday to be a very dynamic day as well. Maybe a good day for doing difficult things, for whatever that's worth. All right, Saturday, this is the very last day of the month, and the moon, you can see it starts out the day really just in the very 0 degrees in Cancer. So the moon will become full in Cancer on Sunday, just a little bit further. So this is Punarvasu Nakshatra. So maybe by the end of the week, it might feel like things are resolving a little bit as the moon gets into its full position, and all of those planets in Capricorn are looking at the moon, and the moon is looking back. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Just seems like another exciting week ahead. Let me know what you think. Take care of yourself, and I'll keep trying to get better and get back to doing more fun videos and setting up my school and all that stuff. I really appreciate you guys watching. Oh, I wanted to mention too at the end here, I did do a video on how to just read this kind of chart, and actually on both types of the popular Vedic astrology charts. I tried to break it down into an easy format. So I'll put a link here in case you want to watch that and start learning how to read these maps. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Have a good week. Take care.